Hey folks, how's it going? This is Dan Gustafson. I was asked to put together a little video about what my experience has been like for my last 20 days out here working the front lines in New York City as an emergency room nurse. Apologize for the delay. Also apologize because I'm extremely physically, mentally exhausted, but I'm going to try my best here. So I was born and raised in Hastings, Minnesota. I would have graduated at Hastings High School in 1998, but I actually left in 1996 and finished off my junior and senior year at Shattuck St. Mary's in Faribault. From there, I went out east and went to college and played hockey for a little bit and a small stint in the semi-pros, but kind of got burnt out at hockey and really turned on to culture and travel and spent my next 10 years traveling the world. I'd moved somewhere in the States I'd never been before and worked my butt off at 3 different odd jobs for 16 to 20 hours a day, save up some money, and then go adventure or travel around the world and help build schools and worked on farms and became a dive master and just explored. And I did that for about 10 years until I met my wife in Montana and we started our family out there. And recently we just relocated out to Oregon. I was there for 5 days before I got the call to come to New York. Been out here in New York City and Brooklyn for the last 20 days. I've had a day and a half off in the last 20 days, working 12 to 13 hours a day, and some of the most insane, extreme, horrible environments you could ever imagine. The only thing that I can ever think of that might have been this atrocious in the last 100, 200 years is World War II. We're seeing death everywhere. It's really hard to explain sometimes and hard to deal with. We've been really understaffed and undersupplied. I tear up 20 to 30 times a day. We usually have a good cry about once a day. We've got nurses on med surg floors that have maybe put a body in a bag once in their career, and in their 20 days out here, they've probably had to do it 20 times. In the ED alone, we probably bag up 20 bodies a shift, so it's 40 bodies a day. It's really a killer for the vulnerable, the sick, the elderly, the immune compromised, those with respiratory issues. Healthy people aren't really getting affected that much. There's always outliers. That's what the media likes to focus on. As far as what everyone could do out there to prepare themselves, it's increasing your immunity. It's doing the things that your mom always told you to do when you were a kid. Get good rest, eat good food, get outside and get some exercise. I recommend taking, in general, a good multivitamin. I've been taking high doses of vitamin C. Zinc has also been reported to be very good to fight off viruses, so I've been taking some zinc. If you can't find zinc, Airborne, kind of a supplement like an emergency, has lots of zinc in it. I also take turmeric, which is a great anti-inflammatory, and I'm trying my best to sleep, but circumstances don't deem it. People I'm working with out here, they're the true warriors in all of this. What keeps me going is seeing their heroic efforts and seeing all the love and support I'm getting from people in my network. I'm not really a big social media guy in general. I just don't have the time for it. But I've really been trying to make an effort to portray some of my experiences and what it's really like for us out there, at least through my eyes. You know, it's just my truth, and I'm trying to put it out there unbiasedly. I do maybe sometimes get a little opinionated towards the end of my post, and don't mean any offense. It's just kind of my nature. I try to offer some suggestions as well. The fear and the panic that's been sent out by the media outlets around the world, I think, has exacerbated this. And I fear that, my personal opinion again, that a lot of this social distancing stuff is going to have more negative outcomes than positives down the road. Once again, I know I'm not in the majority on that, and that's just one man's opinion. I think the anxiety and the insomnia and the depression and the stress is what's really going to get us. I mean, if you want to be as healthy as you can and give your body, your community, the best chance it can against this virus, you want to have the least stressful situation as possible. Stress is the root of all disease, mentally and physically. So yeah, get your rest. Don't be stressed. Try and find some stress-relieving activities that you can try out, if it's meditation or yoga or stretching or breathing exercises, humming, dancing, laughing, playing. I don't know. Don't forget to connect with people in whatever form you feel comfortable in. I think that's really important. I also think it's really important that people get outside and take a nice walk, even if it's by themselves. I'm not saying like go to a crowded park or anything and hug everybody. We definitely need to protect the vulnerable and the sick. And if you fall into those categories, you should be taking extreme precautions, just like you would during the flu season. I think that this is going to affect our hospital systems for the next 4 to 6 months pretty hard. It is hard to find supplies. My brain's just a little exhausted, but I've been trying my best, like I said, on social media, so you can friend me at Danny Gus if you want to get some more of the details. But you see this mask I got here, it's an N95. Normally when you work in a hospital and you have a patient on isolation precautions, you put on a mask, a gown, gloves, hats and boots, depending on the level of isolation, and you're required to discard those after you go out of a single patient's room. Well, this mask, I get one of these every 5 days. 5 days. I'm advised to take it home after a shift and spray it with Lysol and let it dry out before I go to work the next day. And that's also my big motivation of posting on social media, is not only to tell the humanity about this, but I'm trying to raise some funds to really make a difference. And my goal is with the people working under me, and there's 4,000 nurses in all with my relief staffing agency, but the ones that are directly with me, there's 80 of us, and I guess first goal is to get at least a fresh mask for all 80 of those nurses every day that they walk into the hospital. So did put together a GoFundMe. I've been told there's better avenues for fundraising, as GoFundMe does take a little percentage of what's raised. I've got people reaching out to GoFundMe to see if they can eliminate those fees for this cause. If there's people out there that have time and resources to help in this matter, it'd be greatly appreciated. I don't really have much bandwidth, but my sister Laura Nitty and a good family friend, lifelong buddy, Jason Youngquist, have put together the GoFundMe, so you can reach out to any of us for some of those questions, comments, concerns. But it's a real daily hell that we're dealing with. There's filth and dirt all over the hospitals. There's not enough nurses. People are laying in their own excrement and urine for hours sometimes. Sometimes you go and try and get a 15-minute break to eat some food and drink some water and go to the bathroom, and you'll come back and 2 of the patients you've been caring for all day will be dead. It's insane. I've had one nurse that had 31 patients one day. Normally it's 1 nurse to 4 patients. I just can't really describe in detail right now everything that's going on, but I've really tried on my posts, so check it out, Danny Gus. I'll friend you, no worries. I don't have any filters right now. I'm just letting anybody get into this because the world really needs to know. I think the government and some people are trying to keep it on hush and not really let the world know as far as the lack of PPE and the conditions that we're working in out here. Patient safety. Oh, it's hard as a nurse. That's our main goal. It's always patient safety. We just don't have the time and the resources. Some patient will stop breathing and all the resources will go to that to try and save their life. And then we turn around the corner to the other patients we're taking care of and they'll have died. The people that are dying are people that are old and immune compromised, have multiple disease processes going on, and have poor immunity. I personally haven't seen a lot of young, healthy people that are dying from this. Sometimes young, healthy people do get sick, but they generally get discharged home within 2 days to a week. Sorry, I wish I had more. But yeah, if you want to help yourself, help your neighbors, increase your immunity, increase your awareness. Try and educate yourself and form your own opinions, because I know a lot of people, a lot of the media out there, I know this is going through a media outlet, but I'm not trying to talk you guys down. I'm just saying that a lot of the media out there, I believe it's fear-based propaganda. Fear has been used throughout history to control people, and you don't have to be afraid. You're not running from saber-toothed tigers anymore. Love is the most powerful emotion and the best thing out there. Love yourselves, love your neighbors. We're getting lots of love and support out here. The fire department and the people in New York City come out every night at 7 p.m. and people bang on pots and pans, honk their horns, fire trucks sound the alarms, fire trucks post up in front of hospitals and hotels where us relief workers are at. I've had friends and family send me care packages. I've had friends of friends I've never met before drop me off home-cooked meals, bring me over a refrigerator. So I've got some basic ways of getting some good nutrition into me when we have no time between working 12 to 13 hours and spending 2 to 3 hours a day in transportation. What does it give us, like 6 to 8 hours a day to take a shower, talk to our family, tend to our other businesses? I haven't looked at my email in 20 days. Time is scarce. I'm sorry about the delay on this video. I know it's important, and I'm always trying to help out. So hopefully it does help out, and hopefully you guys can help out in some way in your local community. Hopefully you can help out with a GoFundMe page to try and get these nurses on the front lines that are dealing with a daily nightmare, at least the right personal protective equipment. These guys are all heroes. These guys and gals are all heroes, and it's sickening that we're getting ration supplies. And I'm trying my best to change that. I could use your help. So thanks for tuning in, and talk to you later.